Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's One Funny Morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday. Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever.
That's called
our
murder
school
in New Jersey.
He was a lot
Like what is?
with his everything.
Oh,
What's outside your Puerta de Clima?
that's Stella! Yeah!
Hi, I'm Good Time Andrea, and we're live from Brigantine. Cheers to a great morning! And it's time for the Uppy Uppy Show with our host, Tina Blizzard.
Oh, look at the party animals. I think that was a video from a few weeks ago. And it's so weird because Andrea didn't have a keg with her, which I thought was weird since she's Good Time. I drink out of a keg, Andrea. So that's a kind of a long name, but she's rocking it. So good morning, everybody. Yes, I'm at the shore, which is the reason why I'm always late when I come down here. So I apologize. Diane, it's Diane's birthday. Happy birthday. How is everybody this morning? It's a beautiful day. Hopefully everybody is enjoying this beautiful weather. And can I please start by saying lots of prayers for everybody in Florida and in the path of Milton. I know they said like 6 million people have been on their way north to get to higher ground, to get to someplace safe. So we're thinking about all of our Florida people and wishing them the best. And yeah, it's a lot happening today. So keeping those people in our prayers. And in order to bring in the fun today, Michelle Mooney, sexy producer Michelle, has gotten a great guest for us today. In fact, when we were posting about him this week, those of you that know him were like, oh my gosh, I love him. And super exciting. And those of you that don't know him yet, you're going to be following him on Instagram within minutes of this show because he's so funny. His whole feed is there to just make you smile of all of the things that happen probably in your daily life with your kids and life in general. So we're super excited to have him. So let me introduce him. Chip Leighton is the creator and host of The Leighton Show, a social media platform with more than 1 million followers. His comedy focuses on funny relationships, parenting moments, things I apologize to my wife for, or texts from our college freshmen are among his most relatable viral hits. He is a Maine husband and dad. He's been happily married for over 20 years and has 2 amazing kids. Not your typical Instagram and TikTok celebrity. He's a veteran of the corporate world, has grown his platform organically. His viral videos have been seen more than 250 million times, and his work has been featured on national television, digital, and print outlets. And his first book coming out, Another Author, What Time is Noon, publishes next month in November of 2024. So please help me welcome to the show, Chip Leighton.
Hey. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning. I apologize again for being late. I have no good reason other than I'm lazy. Well, okay. So I know that so many people already know you from your Instagram, and they're so funny. How did this whole thing get started for you?
I mean, it all started innocently enough. I started using TikTok like early 2021, and my daughter and I, my daughter's a teenager, and we just liked the platform. We thought it was funny and fun, and one of the things I like about TikTok at the time, Instagram Reels now, is like anybody can post something, and even with no following, if it's like engaging enough, it could go to thousands or even millions of people. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll try posting something that might be funny. And I did that for like 6 months, and like everything I posted was terrible. It was like I had like 17 followers after 6 months. I was about to delete my account actually, and then I posted one thing about marriage that went viral, and then couple weeks later, something about teenagers that went viral, and I just kept kind of building, over time, and it's.
I lost you. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Yeah. Chip and I were working on this earlier. So
I'm sorry about that.
We're good. We're good.
Well, I started like with the teenager stuff, posting about, funny texts my kids had sent, but now people from all over like send me theirs and I feature those. And so it's been a wild ride.
Chip, they're so funny. So do you have two kids? Girl, boy, what do you have?
Yeah, I've got a girl and a boy. Yeah, one in high school, one in college now. So.
And was it your daughter? Is she in college that was helping you?
She's in high school. So yeah, she kind of, we started. Yeah.
Yeah. So did she think you were cool once you started going viral? Because my kids don't think I'm cool at all.
Yeah, I don't think cool would be the word. No, the kids aren't that impressed with me really, but she has different things she calls me, like a grown man seeking validation on TikTok or whatever, or the unemployed middle-aged TikToker now. So it's I mean, for a while she claimed she was like responsible for like 80% of my content, which early on maybe, but now it's not true. But they both have a good sense of humor. Their big thing now is like, because I feature mostly other people's stuff, they're like, oh, my friends think this is all for me or whatever. It's like, you got to make it clear it's not us or whatever. So,
some of them are so funny, and I love the one. So just to explain, and maybe you can explain it better, but basically you take texts. When you started, you took texts that your kids sent you that were just so ridiculous and nonsensical, and you just started posting them. Right. And because some of the videos, it'll just be the post in front of like a picture of a sunset, but the dumbest posts ever. Right. Like the text. But sometimes you voice over things as well. Right.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, yeah, like the text ones are usually just, it's the text with like, some upbeat music and like a scenic thing behind it, but sometimes I'll like read comments and that'll be like a voiceover. I did this like bitter teenage haiku thing a couple times where I like read the haiku in like a sort of serious voice or whatever. But I also do like things I've apologized to my teenagers for. So I'm talking in those. So it's a little bit of a mix. Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah. And so now you're getting people that are sending you texts some of them were so funny. One of them was like, is the gas pedal always on the right? And I was like,
oh yeah, there's so many driving ones. It's like,
they were like, and they said, for laundry, it was like, do I just put the laundry in and push play? You're like, oh, I lost you again. Chip, you're so funny.
Can you hear me? I'm just going to unplug the mic and just go like this.
No? Yeah. We're fine. This is good.
Good. Yeah. No, there's so many driving ones, like, calm down. I've only had 2 accidents or whatever, or, like I thought I could go left on red. I don't understand. But, it's just, I mean, it's like a combination of either just like really dumb questions or like instructions on like how not to embarrass, their parents, like, my friends are almost here. Make sure dad stays in the basement, that kind of thing. So.
Another one was like, when you get to the game, act nonchalant. Do not clap. And I was, do not cheer.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them around sports. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, don't clap more than other people, or don't go cheer for some other kid than me, or it's like it's crazy. Like a lot of stuff with like picking kids up at school. You can pick me up now, just park where no one can see you, that kind of thing. So it's crazy.
So have there been favorites that you've had like through the years?
I mean, there's so many. There's we're coming up with the holidays pretty soon. There was the one that was like, hey, I tried this cologne at the store that I want for Christmas. The brand is called Tester. I don't think that's the brand name. I think. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of mailing stuff, kind of the ones that are pretty good. Like there was the can I use a Christmas stamp to mail something in July? Yeah. And there was another kid who was like, hey, if I use multiple stamps, do I layer them or put them side by side? I mean,
That's funny. So I was listening to your Instagram feed on my way down here as I was driving. I just kept flipping through them. And there was one, and I wish I couldn't write it down because I was driving, but there was one I literally did like a spit take. Like I just ate a piece of hash brown and it went all over my dashboard because it was so funny. I was like, they're just like, did you ever expect it would get this big?
No, like I said, I just started with, just trying something out, and it's kind of, it's just sort of built over time, and because I've become kind of I've built this community now.
Celebrity.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but So anyway, it's great, and I'm really thankful for all the people who contribute stuff, and that's what kind of makes it so fun. So yeah.
It is. So what does your wife think about all of your, like, are all the ladies at the pickup line going, look over there, there's Chip? Like, are you like the hot dad at the pickup line now?
Yeah, she's a little bit like my kids, like not as impressed with the whole thing as the average stranger. Where like somebody will come up to us, like if I get like recognized or whatever, they'll be like, "Oh, he must be so funny around the house." She's like, "Yeah, we're rolling in the aisles around here." Great, yeah. But
it is. It's funny how your family just doesn't care. It probably should be that way because it would be weird if they were like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, no, they keep me humble. Like before I did my I've done some stand up now. Like before I did my first stand up show, like my wife's like, focus like 90% of your energy on how you're going to respond to the hecklers, because like that's what you're going to need. That's the work that's going to pay off for you.
That's really
Thank you.
That energy.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. When did you start doing stand up?
That was a year and a half ago. Yeah, I don't know if you know Caroline Ray from she's amazing stand up and TV and stuff. She reached out to me because I live in Maine, and she lives here in the summer actually, and was like, "Oh, you're hilarious. You ever done stand up? Do you want to do some shows together this summer?" I was like, "No, but yeah, I would love to." And she's like, "Oh, I'll coach you, over Zoom ahead of time." And so so it was a great, she gave me, it was a great push to get into that. So I've been doing some of that and doing more of that now. So yeah, it's been a wild ride, and so I've been doing that. I got the book coming out, so yeah, it's been fun.
That's awesome. Janice, one of our followers, said you have a very soothing voice.
Well, thanks.
Do you get that a lot? Do people comment on your voice?
Sometimes. I mean, like in a lot of the posts, I'm not actually talking like we said before, but like I did get that a little bit in the bitter teenage haiku, because I was doing it in a really smooth voice or whatever. But usually I get told I have a face for radio, but not a voice for radio.
You just have a face for TikTok.
Right. Yeah.
And so tell me, how does the book come along? How did that all happen?
Yeah. I mean, I started to think about, like, I think it was like, I don't know, the fall of 2022, maybe I started to get some media coverage and things were starting to heat up. And I was like, oh, what should where should I go with this? How do I reach more people? And just because my whole objective here is just to make people laugh and bring something positive into the world. And so I was thinking about what are the different ways I could do that. And several people I talked to were like, oh, you should write a book. And I hadn't been thinking about that, but as I thought more about it, I thought, oh, that could probably work. And so I found a literary agent and ended up getting a deal with a publisher. And so I was working on that. I finished it 6 months ago, but it comes out, or I guess it's more like a year ago, but comes out next month. It's called What Time Is Noon, and it's full of like hundreds of funny teenager text messages. That's like another teenage quote. I've heard that from like at least 10 people. Their kids like, when you say noon, is that like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock? Yeah. It's like, I don't know, but yeah, so it's got like hundreds of funny texts plus like stories from my family, and there's like some quizzes and charts and graphs and stuff. So I'm happy with the way it came out. So it's great. You can pre-order it today, and it's November 12th is when it comes out. So
I think Michelle put the link to your website here, theleighton.show.com. You can pre-order it as well. I'm sorry, this table keeps shaking. So, well, it's so funny too, because I think a lot of it, you in some ways kind of have like a very deadpan delivery too when you're reading these. And you do have like a corporate guy way about you. Like, how long were you in corporate America? And like, how does that guy make the transition to this guy?
Yeah. No, it's a good point. No, I was in corporate the corporate world for 25 years or something like that. And yeah, and I sort of obviously I started this while I was in the corporate world and was just kind of doing it on the weekends and at night and stuff. And eventually started like pick up, but I was like, what do I do here? And I did decide to leave my corporate job last year, and so it's helped me to put more time into this stuff and write the book and so forth. But yeah, I mean, when I started, it was like TikTok was still like not super mainstream, so like people and I honestly never thought when I started that anybody I knew in real life would ever see this stuff, and because it's like anonymous on TikTok, and
Yeah.
but then I started to go viral, and like people like, I saw you on my TikTok feed the other day. Like, are you okay? Like, what's going on with you? Is
I
that
was
like,
gonna say that is not usually the MO in the corporate world. What
no?
kind of corporate job did you have?
I was in marketing and corporate strategy, but like I was like on the leadership team of my company, so it was like kind of a sort of high profile job, and so it was definitely a little bit unexpected. And people who like weren't on TikTok are like, what you're on some kids dancing app? Like, what's going on right now? And but yeah, it was fun. Eventually, I just decided to take the plunge and yeah, do more of this. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. It's been great.
It is kind of funny. I mean, so, I am a comic. I've been doing it
Yeah.
for 2 years, and then, started making videos. Some of them went viral,
Yeah.
thing, very organic. But in the pandemic, I just couldn't watch TV anymore. It was just all pandemic. And so I was like, I'm going to put it on and see who's up at, 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
'Cause my kids were sleeping till noon. And I was like, there's nobody to talk to. And then I put this on and all these people showed up. And I was like, oh, so I did this during the whole pandemic. And then the pandemic was over and I was like, well, people keep showing up. I guess I'll keep doing you just never know where you're
Right,
going to
right.
find yourself. So,
Yeah.
but what was the like seeing you on TikTok, like, I'll be like, I'm pretty sure that's a C-suite fellow that works for our company is on the TikTok. But like, what was the reaction when you went in the next day and were like, by the way, I'm quitting because I'm going to do this full time?
Okay. Yeah, people were very surprised, honestly. And that wasn't like I was going to do this full time. I kind of talked about it. I mean, it was getting like not that far from like being able to retire. I wasn't quite there, so I kind of basically said I'm like retiring from the from the company, I guess. And but people were surprised because I had a good job, and people don't normally leave that kind of stuff unless they're going to something similar or bigger or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of people that do that are crazy.
yeah, but I also wanted to just spend more time enjoying life, and I had I mean, one of my kids was already in college as a freshman at that point, and the other one's in high school. So
Wow.
there's only a certain number of days and years when you have kids around that you can spend time with. So to be able to do that and spend time on this is, like I said, very, very lucky.
Wow, that's so cool. So now, like, when you are posting, because you're an Instagram and TikTok, right?
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook too is actually a pretty big platform for me now. So
Yeah. And when you kind of look ahead, so now you're doing some stand up and you're got into the book kind of place. Two questions. When you look at the people that follow you, because I'm looking at our feed with people that are talking, and there are lots of people I know from lots of different places, not just Facebook, that are saying they love you. Has there been anybody that's started following you that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this person is following me? Like, have you like seen any?
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there are a lot of people over the years. It was because I started on TikTok, it's a little tougher to see there because there's a lot more like anonymous accounts, but like Jenny McCarthy was like one of my first followers and was like really engaged. But now on Instagram, you can see things better. There's a bunch of people like, in the comedy world, like Jim Gaffigan follows me, which is like crazy. And like the other day, my wife is like, Gwyneth Paltrow follows you, right? I was like, I didn't even notice that. Like, are you serious? Right. Like, it was like Jennifer Garner started following me. So it's like, I mean, whatever. People follow lots of people on social media, but it is a little weird to think like, my stupid face is getting like beamed onto people's phones like all over.
Jeff, you have to have a shirt made that has all the names of the cool people that follow you. I started following you. You probably don't care, but I was like, oh my God, he's so funny. Yes, Autumn, he is from Maine. Where are you at in Maine? It looks like Autumn might be up there.
Yeah. So I live in the Portland area, just a little south of Portland and Cape Elizabeth. I'm from Philadelphia originally, but I lived in Maine for like 20 years.
Of course you are. A guy that would put this together has to be from this area, from my area.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always a lot of confusion online of like where I'm from because I wear a lot of like Eagles and Phillies kind of gear, but I also show places from Maine or whatever. So that's the deal. Yeah.
Now, who are your favorite people to follow? Like, who makes you laugh in like the universe?
Yeah, I mean, lots of people. I mean, I think like I mean, you mentioned I'm kind of like deadpan. So like if I go back to like when I was young, like Stephen Wright was like a big comic that I loved, who was like total deadpan, and like
Mhm.
even like before that, like Bob Newhart or whatever. So I mean, I think I've been influenced by that kind of stuff. But I like all kinds of comedy, and even just like if I'm on social media and just I mean, watch a lot of like cat videos and other just dumb stuff. So it's
Cats
just
are
like,
awesome.
you know,
Listen, I just found out yesterday that octopuses, I don't think you're supposed to say it that way. Octopi, when they hunt with fish, they punch them in the face if they don't like what they're doing or they want to boot them out. So I'm just want to
yeah.
put it out there.
Well, the octopus is very smart. I don't know if you ever see. There's an amazing film on Netflix, My Octopus Teacher. Have you ever seen that?
I cried
Yeah, I know
so
exactly.
much.
Right.
Chip.
Yeah,
That came out during the pandemic, and I put
right,
it on, and I was like, my kids are 24. They were probably 20, 18, and 16 during the pandemic. And I was like, everybody gather together. This is nobody wanted to watch it. So they all went downstairs. I started watching, and it's beautifully shot by this
yeah,
underwater photographer. So the imagery is beautiful. I feel like the story starts a little slow, but by the end, I was full crying, Chip.
yeah,
Full crying. And my daughter walks by. She's like, "What is wrong with you?" I go, "Octopus!" And it
yeah.
was so good.
Well, like I watched it, I think by myself the first time. Then I was like, I was trying to get the family in, and I did actually. Like I remember my daughter watched it with us, and but her comments were like, "The guy's like cheating on his wife with this octopus or whatever." It gets kind of emotionally involved with.
Yes, yes, yeah. There's a lot happening. There's
Yeah,
a lot of side stories, but it was pretty interesting. But that's what I mean. Octopuses keep showing up in media. I'm like, we get it. They're very smart, and they're a little bit of a bitch if you piss them off. And I
yeah,
was like, spirit animal for everybody, every
yeah.
woman.
That's good.
So it's pretty good. Why did we talk about that?
I think it's social media. What makes you laugh? You were watching. I was watching
Oh,
cat
that's the
videos.
cat
Whatever.
videos. Yeah, you got to start watching more octopus videos
Mm,
because apparently they're hilarious.
yeah, yeah,
So how different is it for you? Because I kind of started in the stand-up world and then came to this
yeah,
one. And yours is more starting here and moving to that one.
yeah.
What has been kind of either surprising or difficult for you in kind of making that live transition?
Yeah, I mean yeah, it is. I mean, it's like the whole media landscape and comedy landscape is different, right? So like there wasn't this path before. I mean, I kind of I mean I reference it as like doing some stand up, which it is, but I'm almost like reluctant to call it stand up just because I have so much respect for like a true stand up that, hones their act night after night, club after club. And I haven't done that. I've worked material out kind of online, and you get a lot of feedback about like what's funny and what's not.
Mhm.
It's different than delivering it in person, but a lot of the stuff I did, especially early on, like these lists of like things I've apologized to my wife for, they translate quite well to the stage, right? It's like deadpan delivery kind of a thing. Yeah, so it's been an interesting journey. I think what I do, some of the shows I've done, I sort of have this like digital screen behind me where I incorporate text messages and some of like the scenic background and stuff I do online. Sometimes I play short videos, so it's a little bit of like a hybrid of like some true stand up, but some like stuff from social media or even crowdsourced stuff like these text messages. So it's not. I'm just trying to like do my own thing and not have it be exactly like anything else, but it's good. I'm starting to do some college like parents weekends kind of things. Like I'm doing Penn State in a couple weeks, which is like the perfect audience for me, like parents of college students. So like
Yeah.
that kind of thing where I bring in some of the visuals and stuff and kind of share what I do online. I think it's got good potential.
That's so funny. Somebody asked, do your ex coworkers come to see you?
I have had a few. Yeah, I did a like a fundraiser in Maine this spring, and had a few old colleagues, come see me. So that was good. I haven't done like a ton of live dates, but yeah, I've had some people, come and see. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Well, have you ever thought, I mean, just how inspirational your story is to a lot of people? A lot of people will say to me, like, oh, I've always wanted to try stand up, or I have this job that, I do. Do people say that to you a lot, that they just love that you kind of made this leap?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I think, I mean, like the advice I give people is like the stuff online on Instagram or whatever, like just if you if you want to do it, just go for it. Like there's no I mean, like I said before, it's an amazing platform and it's like it's free. Like anybody can do it, so why not? And I on the live performance stuff, I got I think a little lucky just because Caroline had reached out and said, hey, let's do something together. So I had like a built-in like audience and opportunity to try it out, because otherwise I probably, if she hadn't done that, I probably would have just like thought about it for a long time, like never pulled the trigger. Because like, how do you like start that, right? Especially at my age, it's like, I'm not gonna be a road warrior or whatever.
Yeah. That's so funny. Well, you'll have to let me know if you come down to Philly sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
Thing together, that would be fun.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Those are my stomping grounds for sure.
Yeah. Are you like, how active are you right now in the sort of club scene?
Well, it's kind of funny. So I've been doing stand up forever. And it kind of I did audience warm up for a while for some TV shows in Philly. It was off Broadway for a while, was touring during the pandemic, did like 75 cities in North America, which was super crazy.
Yeah.
And then went through a divorce and lots of things that weren't great. And I had always thought about writing a book that would be funny. And so my girlfriend was like, listen, like my dad passed. So it was like, your dad died, got divorced, all my kids moved out at one point. I have one still in college. But so I was empty nesting. Then I hit menopause. A lot of stuff was happening with my hormones. It's too soon for a first date for you to know, but it was a lot, Chip. It was a lot of stuff. So my girlfriends were like, listen, if anybody's going to make this funny, it's you. So I've been working on a memoir that I'm supposed to be finishing this month. So right behind you in the kind of writing process, and hopefully maybe this time next year we'll have a book to talk to people about. I don't know, but
what do you mean you're supposed to be finishing? Like you're finishing?
Sometimes I have things to do to avoid that. I don't know if like yours was different, because yours was more like kind of bringing like things together, all these, but like writing down your feelings about divorce and your dad dying. Like I was just like, this is like a lot.
Yeah.
I think is why the stuff that you do that is just so funny and so light that people crave it so much, because real life out here can just be real heavy sometimes. And it's nice to know that your content is clean and it's funny and it's good natured. I think that that's a big part of it. Like I think it's funny that your daughter is saying to you, like, can you please let people, like, I'm not saying all this stuff now, because my kids will be the same thing. They'll be like, can you tell them I didn't say that?
Oh, right.
So I have two daughters, and if one of them had like a full breakdown, I would just say, one of my daughters had a full breakdown. So that way we wouldn't know which one it was. We couldn't point any fingers. But it is funny, trying to do that. But it's nice to know too that, I think one of the things that crosses my mind, and I'm not sure how you deal with it, is I'm on here live every day, and I've been on live every day since the pandemic. Which means it went through my dad passing and my divorce and my empty nesting and my menopause. And, like how do you deal with those days when you aren't having a great day, or there's things going on in your life, or things don't really seem funny to you? Like, how do you deal with those days?
Well, that's where I'm very lucky. I don't post or create anything on those days. No one's paying me to do my normal thing. So I could literally stop doing it completely tomorrow, and I wouldn't be, not being an obligation. I wouldn't do that because people enjoy it. So I feel, I do feel a bit of a responsibility to keep creating and stuff. But that's the thing. I don't do anything live. I mean, other than like some of the live performance stuff, like all the stuff on Instagram or whatever is, pre-recorded. So it takes 30 different takes, and, for me to get it out without flubbing the lines. Or a lot of my posts, I don't have to speak at all, which helps. So sometimes, I will go through a few days where I don't even feel like creating anything or dealing with any of that. And then there'll be other times I got a lot of energy for it and want to do it. And so it's good that it's flexible like that. I could create some stuff ahead of time and, you know, whatever. But I admire you for going live at all, but like every day, like that's unbelievable. That's not really my skill set. Like I'm not like improviser or whatever. I've got to like plan things out really carefully and think about them. So yeah, I admire you.
Thanks. Well, it is. It's so funny. I love what you do. You have so many fans, and like I said, I think it's great. So Michelle just put up the pre-orders for Chip's book. Again, you can go and check it out. So they can find you on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, and you have a website as well, right? The LeightonShow.com.
Yep, theleightonShow.com. It's LEIGHTON. Yeah.
So you can go out and support. Do you really have merch that you sell? Because I heard.
I do. Yeah, I've got like different things.
Your merch.
Yeah, I've got. Let's see. Probably the biggest seller is like. It was big for like Mother's Day, but like this. I gotta get it right here. Like this. Oh my God, blanking out on what it is, but like different like teenager phrases, like, you know, whatever. This mom is low key fire, no cap, or whatever. And I have like I'm just here to embarrass my teenager line of stuff. So yeah, you can get that from my website, and I'll be coming out with some new stuff too. But yeah, just kind of funny stuff.
That's awesome. So make sure you check out Leighton's website and all the great things that he's doing. But thank you so much for being here, Chip. It was such a pleasure talking to you, and thanks for making the time. And I'm sure you have a lot more people watching and following along and laughing and sending in all their texts. I'll have to send you some of the ones I get from my kids as well. I'm sure you're going to have to. So your daughter is in college, or your son is in college?
Yeah. So.
And is he going to be graduating soon?
He's a junior, so we got a little while, but yeah.
Because there's a whole slew of texts that come after that.
Right.
Like about conversations, and now they're living on their own. I just moved two of my kids to Brooklyn, and the texts have been very funny. So
I'm sure.
I'll have to share some of those with you.
Yeah. First job, first apartment, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure. It's classic. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thank you for having me. This was really fun, and yeah, I enjoyed it, and yeah, love to stay in touch.
Yeah. Let me know when you're in Philly. That would be so fun.
All right.
Thanks
again. Yep.
Bye-bye. Oh my gosh, what a great guest. That was Chip Leighton. You can make sure you follow him. And you are guaranteed a laugh if you follow Chip. That is for sure. Because the fact that he, started out by pulling from his own life, and now is getting texts from people all over the world. They're just hilarious. And you can literally hear kids asking it, and it's just the funniest stuff. So yeah, great job, sexy producer Michelle, for setting that up with Chip. If there are any other fun people on Instagram that you like and you think that we should have on our show, text Michelle. Just text her at Michelle@OneFunnyMother.com, 2 L's, and let her know. Yes, but he's super humble and super laid back, and very fun for sure. And he's got his book coming out next month, so support, but good times. So again, I apologize for my lateness today, everybody, but hopefully you enjoyed our interview with Chip, and I'll be back tomorrow on time, and we'll go from there. I know you have to get to work. Exactly. I gotta go write stuff. Yeah, Mooney, he's really funny. And when you're done, you need to go and you need to go watch some of his clips, and you will be for sure laughing. All right, everybody, that's it for us today. Thanks for watching. It's Good Time Andrea and Judy from Saskatoon say, do something nice for yourself or others, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So have a great day and a blessed day, and I'll see you then. Bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One